It slipped out of his hands. 33-22 Tulsa. Just under 5 to play in the first half. 4:53. A lot of changes now for
right now. I was just counting bodies to see if each one had only 5 on the floor. Coupet and Kinkley are still in that lineup, along with Funches and Parker.
Funches.
That's where
he feels it.
That's where he's at his best. And that's the most improved player in the Valley. Right there. That young man worked all summer on the weight and on his game, and it's paid off for him.
The runner from the baseline by Gendron is good. His first 2 tonight. 35-24. Bradley's had a couple of buckets here, but Tulsa has answered. Parker. Akinkulé up and no. Tip no. And a foul on Bayo. His second.
Pretty good reaction to the glass right there by Bayo, but he just got a little too much body in on it. But boy, if he'd have come from a different angle, I think he might have had a chance with the long arms to be able to get a crack at that on a second kickback.
Eight of 10 from the free throw line this season for Johnny Gendron. Started one game earlier. Contest against Southwest Missouri State.
Both teams shooting very well at the line, Bob. Tulsa was 5 for 5 at the last time out, and Bradley was 9 of 10.
Short and a lane violation against Bradley, and that will give a reprieve to Gendron.
It's interesting here because I mentioned before that Bradley had shot 100 more free throws and Tulsa has shot 115 more. So they're used to getting to that line.
(36-24) Tulsa.
Dion, they haven't gotten much out of Dion. He's not even in there right now, but boy, they haven't got anybody that's lighting it up for them. Bradley, I'm talking about. Nobody has caught on fire yet.
They're hoping this young man can do that.
Parker was matched up with Gendron right there.
And this one is loose in the lane. Parker, nice shovel to Funches for the jam. And a foul.
That's where it's tough to match up with him because he has that great upper body strength, that 6'5" and 230. Now, when that ball was thrown in from out of bounds, Bob, you know that they say, look at the power move in between the big guys. You don't ever want to throw the ball back in underneath the opponents, under your basket. Now, he didn't throw it right back in, but as long as you're throwing it, you should throw it all the way out as far as you can toward midcourt, because what happened was the ball bounced right back into Bradley's hand, and they're on the line now for a chance at a three-pointer.
Missed the free throw. 36-26. Thompson. Bonner inside to Poindexter, and he's fouled. This time it's Coupet.
Getting a lot of production, Bob, out of that very same play, because there it was again where they lobbed the ball in and they've got the defense tried to come out in front, and they got the ball right over there exactly. They got them the ball when they wanted it, where they wanted it, and the big guy is at the line.
The third point tonight for the Oklahoma senior, Ray Poindexter. Creeping up on the Tulsa career block shots list at 57 coming into the game. 2 behind Lester Johnson. In 4th place is Lester. 4 now for Poindexter. It's 38-26 Tulsa.
2-2-1 press again. Wait, see if the trap comes on. That's good recognition.
And Klein gets a nice look at it. Hell ball. And the arrow gives it to Bradley.
And that's a shot Chad should have taken, Bob. I just thought he shot in too much of a hurry. They had a 2-on-1. He should have gotten himself a little more under control before he took the shot.
Good defense by Ruffin. And inside, Parker for the slam. Bradley starting to get a few more inside baskets.
Exactly what I was going to say. They're looking a little more. They're getting enough touches. They're breaking down the defense a little bit. They're shutting Tulsa down at this end a little bit, Bob, so they're getting them a chance to get back in. They've got to keep it up under double digits because they're at 10 right now.
For the most part, they've been trading baskets.
Boy, he's been on fire, hasn't he?
Cordell Love with 3 threes for 9 points.
Nothing like that three-point shot to take the crowd out of the game. And boy, he's been set in perfect shooting form every look he's got at that basket.
And his teammates have got the ball right on his hands.
Where he wanted it, when he wanted it.
The reverse layup doesn't go for Klein. Funches fights for it, takes charge and misses. Out of bounds to Tulsa. 41-28.
The one thing I've said many times, Bob, and you know it, most of basketball is played without the ball.
Right.
And that's why a guy like Glover, your scorers like Seals and your scorers like Anthony, you watch how hard they work to get themselves in a position to get that basketball. And that's what Love's been doing.
Tulsa playing very much like the ranked club that it was in late December when they broke into the rankings after that 5-0 start. Bonner bangs in a 3. Just his second three-pointer in a Valley game this season. 44-28. Klein for 3. Short. Funches jammed. Trading 3 for 2, though, won't get it done.
Yep.
Still a 14-point Tulsa lead. This one drops in. Another 3 for Bonner. 4 threes in a row for Tulsa. My goodness. And in a flash, Tulsa has a 17-point lead. Parker for 3.
I'm not sure that's what Bradley wants to do right now, Bob. You can't come down. That's what Jim was worried about, not getting enough touches.
And Tulsa will take its 22nd timeout. Steve Robinson with 48-5 and 29 seconds in the shot clock wants to set up the strategy. Well, we've seen Dwayne Bonner with a couple of threes here, and as you look at the numbers, the big change, of course, is indeed at the point as he moves over for Pooh Williamson.
Those are big shoes to fill. They not only lost Pooh, but they lost Kawanza Johnson, and that's why I thought it was going to put so much more pressure on Shea Fields, because those guys were gone.
Bonner with a dozen points, his season high, 17 against North Carolina A&T. 5 straight threes for Tulsa, 5 of their last 5, and the lead at 17. Tulsa spreading the floor as they work the shot clock down to 16.
They've been executing their half-court offense pretty doggone well against what I think is a terrific defense.
Shot clock at 4. Maldonado loads up. Rebound to Parker. 19 seconds left in the half. Anthony, nice spin. Had it poked away from behind by Love, and Tulsa's got it. Thompson brings it up. Moves underneath. Now back out to Bonner.
Good. That's very good.
4 seconds. 3 from the wing. The three-pointer rims out. Tipped out of bounds, and it belongs to Bradley with .6 left in the half.
Pretty good judgment, didn't you think,
yes,
Bob, by Bonner? He got that instead of playing out of control. He waited until they got some rebounders inside, and then they set up, and they got a good look at the basket.
Parker will not take the shot, and the first half is history. Well, this sellout crowd at Carver Arena just has to congratulate Tulsa on a well-played first half. It's 47-30, the Golden Hurricane in front. But back in Peoria, Illinois, it's a big deficit The first thing that comes to my mind, Jim, about Bradley's state of affairs is not to try to get it all back at once.
Absolutely. If you're a coach, I think the thing you tell them is, first of all, men, we have got to get this down to double digits, down to 10. Then our next goal is to get to 5. Now, if you see it's out of control after that, you're not going to get it all back at once. That's the thing they have to realize. You can't start firing three-pointers. You take them one at a time. You've got to shut them down at the defensive end. You can't trade baskets, as you said, 2 for 3 or anything else, and then you go from there. And the last thing you say to yourself, if we don't do anything else, let's see if we can outscore them in the second half and salvage something out of this.
It may be tough to do against this Tulsa ball club because they play such great defense. Only Oral Roberts has really lit them up this year for 62%. Tough to get the easy basket defenses.
You and I talked about this before the game, Bob, and we said we'd bring it up later. My key to this game was defense, because I thought the team that took the other team out of its rhythm was going to win this basketball game. And right now, the first 20 minutes, Tulsa has Bradley completely out of its rhythm on the offensive end.
If Bradley can make a run, they've got the 6th man waiting to get back into the game, too, and that's his sellout crowd at Carver Arena. They start nicely with a turnover.
Now you just take your time, Bob, and get into your offense and stay with what got you to where you are tonight.
For 3, short, Burrell.
There it is again.
Poindexter. Short with it, but Ruffin is there. He was bumped off the play, and here comes Billy Wright.
Well, they've got the numbers because 2 players are behind the 10-second line for Tulsa.
Burrell got this one. (47-32). This one off the glass by Cordell Love. And Billy Wright, and a foul on Bonner. We should point out Jay Seals is back out there for Tulsa.
Not a bad move, I didn't think, Bob, by Billy Wright. Sometimes I'll say, no. Take that ball, turn around, dribble it, then look for your secondary break people. That time, I thought Billy Wright had the right idea. He was going to force Bonner to foul him. He was going to force some contact because they've got to get the tempo of the game going that way. I thought that was a good move by Billy.
Wright has a chance.
Talk about his assist to turnover ratio, Bob, because it's just absolutely spectacular.
In conference play, 57 assists and 11 turnovers.
Yep.
And overall, 107 to 29. It's 3.7 to 1. That's unheard of.
He has more steals than turnovers. That is absolutely amazing.
47-33. Poindexter. Love on the cut, and he drains it. 11 for Cordell, 49-33. Parker out to Wright. Boy, a nice defensive play by Bonner. Last touch by Bradley. Boy, some quick hands for the senior.
When they got them over onto the side of the floor, they had the sideline as another defender, and they got Bradley right where they wanted him and got that hand out there again in the lane. That's pretty good execution defensively right there.
Seals. And a foul. Had to call that one.
Yep, had to. Big Bio just reached right in there. A Kinkulé. You know, I've always said, Bob, and I know I say it a lot, there are 2 things about defense: the ability to anticipate and the willingness to sustain an effort. And boy, so far that's what Tulsa's been doing. They've played doggone good defense. And you know, the other thing, sometimes when teams aren't playing well, I hope you agree with me, it's because the other team doesn't let you play well.
Right.
And Tulsa is not letting Bradley play its basketball game tonight, and I'm giving all the credit to Tulsa because they deserve it up to this point.
Seals for 3, way off the mark. Burrell backs it out. Here's Parker. A little daylight, but can't hit the shot.
Yep. Boy, they put a couple of nice screens on for him to get him that shot, but he just couldn't convert. See, now, if I'm Tulsa, Bob, I'm going to break down Bradley's defense. I'm going to take as many touches as it takes to break them down and not be in any hurry, because Bradley wants that basketball. Look at this.
Oh, talk about a great look.
Yeah, that's pretty good execution. Bradley needs the basketball. You know they're looking at the clock. They're trying to break down the numbers. And if I'm Tulsa, I'm going to make them pay every time I come down.
18 is the difference right now, the biggest lead tonight for Tulsa. And another steal for Cordell Love. What a play. Cordell to the trailing Bonner.
That's very good. That is very good execution right there. Watch Love. I hope our viewers are watching Love. He just keeps moving.
And intercepted. Boy, Bonner got away with a hand check that time. By rule, if you put two hands on the offensive player, that's an automatic call. Wright runs into Poindexter. Undeterred. And this up off the glass by Akinkule. That wasn't even close.
What terrific rotation by Shea Seals there. I mean, boy, they went and they shut Billy right down on the end line by rotating, and Shea's came all the way over, and Seals did, and look at the back door.
Oh, beauty. Seals, though, couldn't hit the shot. Parker coming down with it. Right. Up and in.
Got to take it. Billy's got to. I sense that he's trying to create and penetrate a little more, Bob, to start to see if he can create some stuff. He had to take that shot. He was wide open.
Wright has 5. 51-35. Seals looking, getting it down to Cordell Love. Outside to Bonner. Tulsa very patient offensively. They run the shot clock down to 10. It's Ruffin in and out. Ruffin fighting for it, still loose in the lane, and picked up by Parker. Bradley's got some numbers. Parker, Funches, fumbles, controls, and stuffs it. Funches with a dozen, 51-37. Crowd trying to get back into it. They haven't had much to cheer about tonight.
Interesting match with Parker on Seals, Bob.
Shot clock hits 10. Now Bonner going to work. Just goes right past Burrell and lays it in. My goodness.
That's pretty good when you do that against David Burrell.
That was a Linda Ronstadt layup.
Or Kerry Burrell,
by
excuse
you.
me. Kerry Burrell, as I said earlier, is in there to play defense, and that's a pretty good move when you can do that to Kerry.
53-37. Timeout, Bradley. And they'll turn it into a 20. We talked earlier about the senior from Richmond, Indiana, Billy Wright. And he has indeed had the right stuff during his marvelous career here at Bradley. He's got a chance to overtake Hersey Hawkins, the all-time Bradley steals list. And on the MVC career steals list, the next man in his sights is Larry Bird. He's in some pretty good company.
He's coming off a game where he had 12 assists against Drake, and he's got 536 coming into this game, Bob. He went 4 games without committing a turnover, and 3 other games had only 1. And that's what you need for some guy that's going to run your ball club.
Tulsa coming with a trap. Wright gets rid of it. The driving Deion Jackson up and off, and he draws the foul.
A lot of people thought he should have taken that three-pointer when he had it right there. Tulsa came out and tried to put on the trap. Billy Wright kept his head up in the air. He got it to the open man. Not many people in this league are better, Bob, at forcing the contact and finishing the shot than Deion Jackson. He's a master at it.
His 5th point tonight, all from the free throw line. The Missouri Valley Conference's active career scoring leader, Deion Jackson. Second shot. No good. Rebound to Seals. And the interception by Jackson. Deion floats it back out to right, and Bradley resets, trailing by 15. It was 17 at the half. And this one zips right past Coupet and out of bounds. A timeout on the floor in Peoria. 53-38 in favor of the Golden Hurricane.
Visit Solozio.
Car rental, you get weekend rates so low that every weekend is a national holiday. National features vehicles from compact and luxury cars, as well as minivans. National is the official car rental of the Missouri Valley Conference and the NCAA. Call National today at 1-800-CAR-RENT and start your national holiday. With Jim Gibbons, Bob Rathbun in Peoria. And the Tulsa invasion has been most successful for the Golden Hurricane. They lead at 53-38. Hernady right down the alley.
Boy, and give Craig Hernady credit. See, he saw the defense shift, Bob, and instead of standing there and being a watcher, he went right to the basket, which is the one place you can hurt somebody, and they got him the ball for a wide-open lay-in.
Right to the corner, Jackson. Air ball, but Parker had it blocked, and a foul. Gendron with his third. Now Aaron Zobrist is coming in the ball game for Bradley. And I would think, Jim, just given the flavor of what's happening here, it was 17 at the half. We played 7 minutes, and the deficit is still 17
right now.
They need some home run shots.
You're right. You're
quick offense.
Not gaining anything. We said you can't trade baskets. You've got to shut them down defensively, but I'm telling you, Tulsa is really executing beautifully in their half-court offense. They're in their comfort zone. Bradley hasn't been able to force them out of that comfort zone.
11 for Anthony Parker.
Amazing with Seals only 2 points, isn't it? What's going on?
Oh, this one goes behind Maldonado. 13:01 remaining. Bradley desperately trying to get back into the ball game. We'll keep an eye on Zobrist here. He comes out to get it off the back screen.
Good match because Thompson has him.
Coupet rolls it in.
You know, that's one time they converted on the turnover. I'm trying to keep track of how many times they get the turnover but don't convert at the other end. They did that time.
Bonner to Thompson. The shot clock approaching 10. And a hell ball. The arrow favors Bradley.
That was
Seals
not a
long comeback.
Everybody was crying about that, and you know, Bob, you can go to the floor if you're still dribbling that basketball. Now, if he'd have gotten up, that's another matter. Then it's a travel, but it was not a travel until they, you know, it was not a travel to begin with, but then there was a tie-up afterwards. Now, that's 2 possessions in a row. Tulsa hasn't gotten a shot at the basket.
But Bradley needs to make them pay. Instead, they turn it over themselves. Thompson leading a 4-on-2, and they throw it away.
And we got a charge, though, right down below. And, boy, Chad Klein took that beautifully against Thompson, I believe. No, maybe not, Bob.
11:58 remaining in the ball game, and a timeout in Peoria. This, of course, this Tulsa club's leaving the Valley after this year, but don't you know they'd love to make it 3 straight regular season titles, and what a way to go out. So important that they get this one on the road tonight.
Yeah, and they haven't forgotten that they beat Bradley 3 times last year. Beat them by 20 here, beat them at home, and then beat them in the tournament. So they've got a 3-game streak going against Bradley.
And they've got a double-digit lead tonight. Little 1-3-1 zone.
Boy, and that's a terrific move defensively, just to get the offense out of sync a little bit. See, they're burning time off the clock, playing right into Tulsa's hands.
Parker penetrating, kicks to Klein in the corner, in and out, stays out. And Coupet on the back of Hernady. It's his 4th.
Take a look look and see if he reached over without getting on the body, Bob. That's what Jim Molinari's upset about. Let's see. I guess we can't see it. It looked like he got a little bit of the body down below, but he didn't get him up above. But he probably had a better look than we got there.
11:25 to play. 55-41 Tulsa. Seals. Tipped, controlled.
Look at how quick that man is. Look at how quick he went to that basketball.
Shot clock hits 6. Thompson to the baseline. Up and short. And the rebound comes to Jackson. Klein penetrating. Nothing there. Parker. Bradley can't afford the luxury of taking a lot of time.
That's what the defense is doing to them, Bob. They are really having trouble finding an open shot, but he created his own shot right there.
12 points for Anthony Parker. 55-43, so Bradley has whittled it down to 12.
And still a long time to go.
Anthony Parker.
There's the man they want right there.
5 for 3.
Yeah.
Got it. 55-46. And for the first time in a long time, Tulsa's lead is in single digits. 20-second timeout for Tulsa. And this big crowd of 10,026 tonight starting to make some noise.
That's the man. He is their designated three-point shooter now. He's the one that severely sprained his ankle against Villanova. He's about 90% right now. He's not able to cut as hard as he usually does, but boy, when he's got an open three-pointer, he's going to can it. The one thing I noticed, Bob, I said that I thought Tulsa should see Vernick now. Watch him. He's going to create his own. See, that's good. He created his own shot right there. I thought that Tulsa should be burning time off, but what I sense is happening, I sense they've got too many people just standing around. There's a difference between burning time and not executing your offense.
8-0 Bradley run to get the Braves back in the ball game. 55-46.
Well, I can tell after this timeout that Tulsa's moving a lot better than they have in the last 5 minutes on offense.
Bonner up and off. Rebound inside Ruffin, and he's fouled.
I don't know who has the responsibility, Bob, of guarding Ruffin, but they better get a body into that man because that's where he causes all of his damage. He has those long arms. He's got the big body. Now, you have to realize, even if you don't get the rebound, if you're assigned to that man, it doesn't make any difference whether you get the rebound. You just have to make sure that he doesn't get that basketball. And that's what happened right down there. They broke down.
Steve Robinson breathing a sigh of relief after he took the Tulsa job to find out that Michael Ruffin was still going to come to play for his basketball team. Rated the second best player in the state of Colorado last year behind Chauncey Billups. A whale of a recruit. Goes 1 out of 2 at the line. He's got 8 points and has done a much better job tonight at the foul line than his 38% for the year would indicate. Off the screen.
That's what they need him to do.
7 for Dion. 56-48. The Tulsa lead is down to 8. It was as big as 19. Seals. And a reach-in foul on Jackson. For the hell ball. This one stripped. And we've got an offensive foul called on Bonner.
Well, we both thought the call was going the other way, but we've got an offensive call right there, and Steve Robinson is all upset because he thought the first one happened before the offensive player committed the foul.
I was going to let you handle that one. Gibbons, you're the analyst.
Thanks.
56-48.
I hope what I just said made sense to you.
It did. I bought it. Klein outside Zobrist. Right. Starts to penetrate. Nothing available inside. Back out to